Welcome to Fresno, California. Another beautiful day on the West Coast. A beautiful day to play the beautiful game. Fresno Foxes hosting Reno 1868. I'm Bruce Silverman along with Matt Stubbington. And Matt, these two teams, they've played together before.
They have played each other, 1-1 tie earlier in the season. And it's cup time for Fresno if they're going to make the top 8 and the playoffs. And Adam Smith, in the middle of the week, he said that these two teams are evenly matched, and it's all about want to for his Foxes if they're going to be successful.
And if they're going to make the playoffs, they need 3 points tonight. They need the help of Juan Pablo Cava.
He is the magician with his left peg, marshals the midfield, does a really great job of getting his team involved and also finishing the chances that are presented to him. When he went out last time out against Las Vegas with injury, his team really struggled, but they found a way to get the job done and tie the match up late, but they missed his presence in the center area of the pitch, and he's huge that he's back in the lineup tonight.
Both of these teams faced Las Vegas last time out, and for the visitors, Antoine Hoppeneau.
He hopped to it and scored a beautiful goal in stoppage time to win the game for Reno. This is a beautiful finish. He is a great player, likes to get his head down, drive for the byline. He's got 9 assists on the season, so he's really good at getting his team involved.
And when you score in the 95th minute, you take off your kit, you get a yellow card, but that's okay because you get the win. Kickoff coming up next.
Captains for today's match are Jordan Merrill from Reno 1868 FC and Juan Pablo Cava from your Fresno FC Foxes.
Welcome back inside Chuck Chansey Park here in Fresno. Bruce Silverman along with Matt Stubbington. And Matt, Reno, very, very good on the road. 6 wins, 6 draws, only 1 loss.
They are good on the road, but Fresno are also very good at home, and they'll be hoping that Adam Smith's lineup tonight can get the job done. Barrera on the right, Verhoeven on the left. They'll be looking to get forwards, but the balance behind them with Alex Cooper and Ellis Hayden are really important for the success of Fresno. When those two players are playing, they have been really good in attack, and it's great for the home team that they are back in the lineup.
And for the visitors, you take a look at this lineup, a lot of firepower up top.
A lot of firepower. They've been involved in 21 goals between them. Brian Brown and Antoine Hoppeneau with the 9 assists, Brown with the 12 goals. So they have a really good partnership. It's good to see that Jerry Van Avak is having a good season as well. He didn't play his best last year, but he's been in the lineup a lot for Reno since changing clubs, and he's been important on the left flank for Ian Russell's team.
Marcinkowski is in the pipes tonight, and we're just moments away from getting underway. Reno is in the whites this evening, and they will be going from the left to the right, and in the blues, it will be the home squad. There's the referee right there, Fareed Dakwo. He's the man with the Barbasol this evening. Fresno is going to start us up. They'll be going from right to left on your screen. This Western Conference match with two teams with playoff aspirations right now. Reno in the playoff picture with 41 points, and Fresno trying to play themselves into the playoff picture currently with 34, and we are underway as Fresno is going to try to go over the top, get down the pitch. Things got slowed up momentarily, and now they'll keep it on the ground and move forward, with Cooper then having to go backwards. The second you say that they're going to move forward, Matt, they go back.
Always the way. Trying to wrong foot us as well as the opposition.
It's kind of like the Sports Illustrated cover jinx. The minute you get on the cover, something goes wrong. The minute you say something about going forward, they're just going to go backwards. Going over the top once again, but to the wrong kit. Ball spending a lot of time in the air. First opportunity for Reno to get forward. Hoppeneau got it inside, and then it will be turned around and thrown away to a bend. Early on, Fresno trying to go over the top. Hasn't been on the mark. The opportunities have gone the other direction, but Reno hasn't really had an opportunity to settle the ball down either.
Both teams just feeling each other out. The nerves on edge for both squads. You see Ellis Hayden sprinting down the right flank. He's got a lot of speed. Wasn't used on this occasion. And here comes Alex Cooper on the left.
Cooper looking to center. He does. They'll keep it in the final third, but lose the handle.
You know, doing a good job of getting players behind the ball, making things very congested at the top of the 18. So Verhoeven there on the ball. I'd like to see the young man make decisions a little bit quicker with the ball. He's most effective, as most soccer players are, when they release it more quickly. On occasion, he takes one or two touches too many, gets himself into some pressure.
Verhoeven gets his pocket picked, and they'll turn it around.
There was an example of it. Alex Cooper was in a position of support in front of Verhoeven. Verhoeven tried to hold the ball a little bit too long. End up getting the ball taken away from him.
The captain goes off the mark. And Reno will start everything up. But you also saw some solid defense, triple teamed, and you put three guys around one kid, chances are they're going to win the battle.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what you want as a coach, is to see your players getting the opportunities to double down, even when necessary, triple down to win the ball. The important thing, though, is that if you do make that commitment to the player on the ball, not to let the pass out, because if you are, then you're unbalanced somewhere else.
Here comes Fresno once again into the final third, working that far side, then backwards, sending it back through. Loose ball is cleared out. Fresno with the early possession lead. It's what they do with it that matters, and Ellis Hayden trying to pass to himself and was a little too heavy.
Boy, there defensively in the left back position for Reno. Did a great job step for step for Ellis Hayden. And what I've seen from Cheney initially, against Las Vegas last week. He had a tough time holding the ball up against the back line of Las Vegas. His touch was off, but early impressions, his touch is better tonight.
Fresno once again on the attack. There's the captain flipping it into the box, but nobody home. Intended for Verhoeven. Verhoeven many steps behind where he needed to be able to corral that one in. Marcinkowski starts us up, but then a whistle slows us back down, and they'll do it again.
Not sure what Mr. Beckhout had seen, but the whistle went, so slows things down.
All the way back. And Rainish right foots it. Shows the strength of his leg. Seymour off the mark, and Fresno with another opportunity until it's shut down by Seymour.
Fans, remember, in the
And that happens from time to time. You give it up and then you come back and you redeem yourself.
At this level, such a great example for the young players watching the game, that when a mistake happens, these guys, they don't put their head down in shame, they put their head down in effort, get back defensively. One thing you can control is your effort. Everybody has a missed touch, everybody will have a game where the passes don't go where they're intended, but if you knuckle down and take care of your responsibility defensively.
There was an opportunity for Fresno, but the flag was up. Really what it comes down to is once the play is over, the play is over, and you can't dwell on it. You got to play the next one and the next one and the next one, because they're the only ones that really matter.
Absolutely. And as a coach, the one thing that does drive you nuts is those players that give up and pout.
You see that often when they don't agree with the call of the referee.
I don't mind my players not agreeing with the play or the call of the referee, but get back defensively, and then you can start arguing the decision. Make sure you're taking care of the defensive side of the ball first.
And a lot of times those conversations with the referee are more about what happens next than what previously happened. Because if the referee knows that he made a mistake, he's aware of it, will never admit it. I don't think I've ever seen a soccer game where a call was made and the referee went and changed his mind, whether it was a card or a handball or anything like that. Always stuck to it, but maybe there was a makeup call down the road and play on, says the referee on that one. And Cheney was thinking there's a look where we thought, well, if you're Fresno, you thought there was a handball there.
And there was a definite case there. Zach Carroll with both arms into the back of Cheney. Perhaps Cheney went down a little bit too easily for the referee's taste. Carroll on the ball here. It was him that, for my taste, was a little bit rambunctious in the challenge.
Seems the pace of play right now is a little frantic, a little helter-skelter. We're 8 minutes in. Is this more a matter of these two teams haven't faced each other in a while and they're just kind of feeling each other out to see what they can get away with and where the strengths and weaknesses are this late in the season? Pass inside is knocked away. Fresno will go long distance and past the touchline. Quick throw in.
I think to your point, Bruce, I think it's both teams are a little anxious, although Reno are within the playoff picture as this game kicks off tonight. They're not far away from the cutoff line. And for Fresno, the home team, there is a lot on the line. They don't have many games in hand. They don't have any games in hand with teams above them. So they have to make the most of every opportunity that they have. As Brown gets called for the foul.
Yeah, there was no doubt on that one. When you grab a player and pull him from behind, you're pretty guaranteed that you are going to get whistled for the infraction. Rainish will kick this one away, and he's got that really, really strong arm, so it could be an advantage for the home squad if he can put it on target because of the distance that he covers. Well covered by Reno, headed out of play, and Alex Cooper will come and throw it in. That will go past the goal line, so Marcinkowski will kick this one, keep it on the ground and keep it short.
Feels like Fresno are trying to stretch Reno out with the long balls, trying to target Cheney's aerial ability against the back line of Morrell and Carroll.
I get the reason why teams like to go over the top like this, because you cover a lot of ground, you can conserve a lot of energy, but that works if you're on target. If you're off target, every time you do it, it's a lost opportunity, and the striking distance doesn't matter.
Well, at every level of the game, and at this level you see better touches, but if you do drive that ball long into the back line, yes, you may not be on target with the first ball, but you have to get players in around the area of the pitch where the ball is being played, so perhaps you have the opportunity to win the first or the second ball.
Ribeiro will give and go. There'll be a chase towards the corner. Kaffa gets there, so Fresno keeps this one alive into the box, headed away and then cleared out. 50-50 won by Fresno, but nobody will collect that one. So Reno will throw it in. Best opportunity so far for the Foxes.
Great work there from Kaffa to keep it alive in the attacking third. Ball went back to Ellis Hayden. He crossed it in. Cheney tried the diving header, but no purchase on the attempt on frame.
Now Reno putting it into the back of the net. 12th minute, and the visitors are on the board.
A wonderful finish from Brown. He must have seen this ball dipping over the Fresno defenders ever so late.
So Brown picks up another one on the season, and this was an interesting trip down the pitch for Reno because it didn't look like they had anything that was really organized. They got the benefit of Fresno breaking down on defense. No one was really marking Brown, and he was able to just volley it home with that left foot.
Troy there with the cross in. Good adjustment from Brown to the ball. Fresno will be frustrated. They had a good opportunity at the other end of the pitch, and immediately on the counterattack, Brown puts his 13th goal of the season in.
Lacroix is such a smart, dangerous player, and that ball was centered as well as it possibly could. I don't think that Brown could have asked for anything better to just blow up that goal.
It was a wonderful service in and a good finish. It's difficult skill to have the patience to wait for that ball to come down and get above the flight of the ball so you can drive the ball down low, keep it on target. Wonderful technique from Brown.
So what does Fresno do to answer this? Because they've been on the ball longer than Reno, but their possession hasn't been really quality possession. It's been just they've been on the ball long.
You gotta be smarter with your passes. Try and get the ball out wider a little bit. Keep possession long enough so that you are able to allow Cooper and Ellis Hayden to join the attack.
Here's a build-up, keeping it on the ground. Verhoeven goes backwards. Daly. Ellis Hayden.
I wonder how much Fresno will be missing. Del Campo in the back line. Suspended for tonight's game. He was sent off for a deliberate handball, denying a goal-scoring opportunity against Las Vegas last week. So Brown is in the central area of the defense with Daly. Brown has played a lot of minutes.
Kaffa, can he make it happen? Great defensive play, stops him. Don't see bicycle kicks to clear it out very often, but there it is. Verhoeven under pressure, centers, cleared off. Cooper, good work to keep it with his team, and that is off the mark. And those opportunities have to be capitalized. And Cheney is going to have a nightmare tonight.
Well, Cheney and Kaffa will have a nightmare. My one quibble with Kaffa is that he loves his left foot. Cheney, he just snatches this opportunity wide of Marcinkowski's right-hand post. Cheney in a great position. He's improved in getting himself into scoring opportunities this season, but his conversion rate is not nearly good enough. And that is why Adam Smith has been signing forwards. Teo's come on late this week. Bevan, and Smart have been signed by Adam Smith, trying to get some offense going for Fresno.
And Smart is one of those guys that can play as a right midfielder or a right fullback, but he's very offensive minded. We'll see if Smith brings him in later in this game. Definitely has soccer IQ, lives up to his name. Still has some speed in those wheels. As you take a look at Ian Russell. I'm sorry, that is Adam Smith. No, that's Ian Russell.
That was Ian Russell, yep. The build up to that
chance. Around.
The build up to that chance for Cheney was a good prolonged possession in the attacking third for Fresno. And Kaffa had a great opportunity, but chose to go to his left leg. To me, it seemed like if he'd have kept the ball on his right and shot with the right foot, he would have wrong-footed the defender. I didn't know who it was for Reno that got across, whether it was Morel or Carroll. They were in front of the goalkeeper, Marcinkowski, and I believe it was the defender that blocked the shot from Kaffa. But in very short order, Fresno had two great chances to tie this game up.
One of those things that's very frustrating about the beautiful game. You can have the possessions, you can have the opportunities, but if you do not capitalize on them, you can find yourself down 1-0 in the 17th minute and try to figure out how that's possible when you've been controlling the game.
Why it can be so perplexing. See it time and time again, one team dominated.
Cooper flipping sides off the head of Kaffa. Shot is right into the gut. Marcinkowski. And that's what Fresno needs to do. Those are those concerted efforts, bringing the ball up the pitch and being smart with possession. We've seen since the goal, the march down the pitch has been more station to station than it has been over the top. Over the top wasn't working earlier in the game, and this change, although it hasn't seen a capitalization yet, definitely shows that they've had more opportunities to try to really put the pressure on Reno.
It has been, and I think because they've been getting that possession and passing the ball more adeptly up the pitch, it has allowed the players, Ellis, Hayden and Cooper, to get in and find the width in the attacking third.
Switching sides for Cooper. Cooper will slow it down, pick up a defender, then center. Good defense to prevent it from getting to Cheney.
How important was that header from Carroll there? Beautiful defensive play. The thing I'm noticing with Fresno is the two central defenders are getting split wide by Hoppino and Brown.
You know, if you really start to break down this game in the 19th minute, Brown and Hoppino really haven't even touched the ball. It's the one touch that Brown has really had in this game is what started the scoring. But beyond that, Fresno's done a good job to prevent the ball from getting into that final third.
They have done a pretty good job, but I'm a little concerned from the Fresno defensive standpoint. Again, with Del Campo missing, Brown and Daly have got to renew their partnership. But with Cooper and Ellis Hayden going forwards, those two players have to make sure that they stay connected. And if they don't do that and get split a little bit too wide, which I think is what happened on the goal, those two players got pulled out of position a little bit. That allowed Brown to get goal side of Cooper.
Cooper and Hoppino doing battle, but the battle there won by Fresno, so Rainish will kick it away. And what a weapon that right foot is, except when it's not touched by a teammate. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Fresno on the attack once again. Starting the 21st minute, down 1-0. That 12-minute goal by Brown, and whistle will stop the play as Pedro Ribeiro hit the turf. So set piece opportunity coming up here, and it's really our first one of the evening.
It's a little bit too far away for Kaffa to have a try on frame, but he can serve up the ball beautifully. He's got tall targets of Cheney and Ribeiro if they go forwards. Cheney's discussing with his captain what the plan is. I don't think Abend and Seymour could quite believe that the call went against Reno.
So Daco, the referee, having a conversation with the captain. See that two-man wall. Appears to be a little bit more than 10 yards away. No Barbasol down and marked off. A lot of activity all along the 18. Kaffa went at it.
Well,
there's that Sports Illustrated jinx again.
I thought he might be a little bit too far out, but it was a stinging shot. The goalkeeper read it well. Marcinkowski had a lot of time with good footwork to get across to make the save. Could only parry it to the ground and collected it cleanly at the second attempt. That was a nice effort from Kaffa.
That ball sent forward by Fresno. Reno will pick it up, but Kaffa putting pressure on, and that's why that ball went past the touch line, and it will be a throw coming up.
That's Fresno. They're winning the second or third ball there. Cheney was the target, didn't win the ball cleanly. Reno were not able to head it to a teammate. And Kaffa with the pressure. Sometimes you don't have to win the possession cleanly. Sometimes you just have to put the elbow grease work in, and then you can get it back on the throw-in. That's exactly what Kaffa did.
Fresno on that exchange, keeping the ball on the ground, but these long distance passes into traffic lead to turnovers.
And that ball there played into Cheney. Midfielders have to get beneath Cheney so that he has somebody to play it to. Verhoeven, Argueta, Ribeiro. You have to find a way to get in a position to support Cheney when he has his back to goal.
And Abend will go backwards. Carroll. Marcinkowski will get into the action. Well outside his office. Didn't like the options ahead of him, so he goes back to Zach Carroll. Slows it down. Lanovac. And then finally going forward for Hoppino. A bend out wide. Makes his teammate chase. And here comes the concerted effort into the final third by Reno. Seymour sent forward into traffic. Mickey Daly was there.
Brown frustrated. The ball did not find its way to his feet. He was right up against Corey Brown in the back line of Fresno.
play catch and let everything settle in front. The captain for Seymour. And Reno trying to decide how they want to build this one up. 25th minute, 1-0. 1868, that one comes in the 12th minute. Brian Brown's 13th of the season. Among the USL leaders. Throw deep. Coming up now. Richards does the aim. Passes back. A bend. And that's picked off. Fresno moving forward, keeping it on the ground. Cheney gave up space to Morrell. All the way back to Markinkowski.
Good use of the body there from Morrell to just force Cheney off balance for a moment so he could get goal side, win possession, relieve the pressure with the pass back to his goalkeeper.
That ball forward to Brown. Battle to the line. And Rainish will kick this one away. Positioning on those runs towards goal is so very, very important, because you can just cut an angle just enough to ride your opponent off the ball.
And it's an important skill to learn. Remember, as a younger man, I used to play against an old Scot, and essentially I could run by him anytime I wanted, except that he just lent his shoulder in me and pushed me off balance. And it, one of those lessons that you learn as a young player. And no matter what I could do, I couldn't get past Joe because he just pushed me off the ball. But it was all use of his body that was what he was doing.
There's that soccer IQ. Those little things, and especially as you get older, you may lose a step, but you can still win the battle because you know how to position, you know how to play against somebody who's faster or stronger or more skilled, simply by doing something that they're unable to answer.
And it's such an important lesson to learn. If you can do it early, become a much better player.
Fresno, another trip into the final third, looking for pay dirt into the box. Cheney was trying to keep it with blue kits. Eventually it does fall back at their feet. Cooper's been very active this evening on that left fullback position.
Too many touches there from Barrera. Could have played that ball back to Ribeiro with a one-time or two-touch pass. And it just allows the opposition to maintain their shape defensively.
If you're Adam Smith and you're looking at the first 28 minutes of this match, if you could call a timeout, which, you know, I guess I'm using that reference only because college football kicks off this weekend. If you could call a timeout and bring everybody to the sideline, what's the message right now?
Finish your chances.
That's
Fresno are going forwards. They're passing the ball. They've had some good looks on frame, but they have to make sure that they're composed in front of net. Keep making the runs in the box. Cheney and Caffer have had some great looks. Barrera as well. He had that good volley that went straight into the breadbasket of the goalkeeper.
Ribeiro into the box. Picks up traffic, loses the handle. That shot from distance. Marcinkowski snatches it right out of the air.
Another stinging shot from distance from Barrera again. Ribeiro goes tiptoeing through the tulips. Thought he was going to go all the way. It was just strung out enough by Morrell. Then it fell kindly to Barrera. Again, the goalkeeper is in good position to make the save look easy.
You talk about the chances that Fresno has had and just haven't been able to finish them. But you'll also have to give a tremendous amount of credit to James Marcinkowski. Marcinkowski has been very well positioned on all of those shots, from the set piece to that one. If it wasn't for the way that he's positioning himself, this game could be very, very different, because the chances really have not been there for Reno. They capitalized when they had it, but they really haven't had any other shots on goal. In fact, that's the only shot they've taken in this entire 30 minutes of play, and yet they're up 1-0.
Well, Fresno have got 7 shots for the game so far. The one that counts is the one that went on target for Brian Brown and into the back of the net. We talked about the positioning of the goalkeeper. I was talking about playing the geometry of the position. You look at the goal is the base of the triangle. Wherever the ball is the point of the triangle. And as a goalkeeper, you're forever moving along the base. So the player who has the ball at his feet at the point of the triangle cannot see much of the base of the goal, or the base of the triangle. Marcinkowski, you can see Rainish there with his footwork in this picture, just trying to adjust himself so that the base of the triangle is always as small as it possibly can be for the player who's trying to take the shot on target.
There's a battle between Brown and Brown, Corey Brown in blue and Brian Brown in white. And it is Corey Brown that wins that one. And you look at Adam Smith having conversations. Thanks for the geometry lesson. You know, today's Saturday.
Don't ask me to solve any problems. I'm dreading it when...
I was going to say, I only do math, you know, like Monday through Friday when I'm in the 10th grade. That is just off the mark by Hoppino. Hoppino was looking for another one. He had it. It was wide open, and he went just a little left. Great ball, splits the defenders, that right foot, and Rainish came out far enough to cut down the angle, but the angle still, you see it on that picture, the angle was cut off, but he still had enough room to put it home.
He did have enough room, and hopping up, you can see by the player's reaction, knows he should have done better. Again, that's the positioning of the two central defenders, Daly and Corey Brown. They were not in good position in partnership. One was a little bit further forwards than the other, and Hoppino was able to just run through that channel between the two. He knows he should have done better. Could so easily be 2-0 to the visitors with only 2 shots that they've had in this game.
And that's the type of spacing on those central defenders that drive managers crazy.
It is, but as you get closer to the top of the box, you have to get closer together. And that's something that they were not doing on that occasion, and Hoppino took great advantage of the space that was given to him.
That opportunity is stopped by Reno. They'll start pushing it up the floor. Good defense by a Bend. Here comes Vandevack. Gets past Daly. Centers. Headed out by Cooper. And you see that positioning. Cooper, the left fullback, playing in that central position because all of the push was coming on that left side.
Nice recovery from Cooper. And that positioning was a little bit better there by the defensive set. Ellis Hayden was caught upfield.
You know, what's interesting is those 2 shots that we've seen from Reno, they've both been on the counter. It hasn't been really a build-up. Cheney, a lot of white kits around him. Very nice defense by the men in the white kits. But Fresno right back on it. How about that from Ribeiro? We got card coming up. And it will go against Reno, and this is going to be a dangerous position for Fresno.
Fresno, where you at?
Well, this one we know for sure that man in the center of the picture, number 10, will be taking a shot on target. Ben there, furious that the call went against him. Ball played in decisively from Ribeiro to Argueta. I get it, knew that the challenge was coming from Bend. He was high in the challenge, was the number 8. As soon as he felt that pressure between the shoulder blades, Argueta went to the turf. A well-won free kick. One thing I would like to see from Fresno going forwards is making the decisions on the passes just a little bit quicker. Cheney moments ago didn't make a decision, didn't pass the ball off, didn't take a shot, lost possession cheaply. And on the ensuing possession that went to Ribeiro, and now in the situation we're facing.
27 yards out. The captain, Kaffa, looking to capitalize with that left foot. You see the wall directly in front of him. Does he look to go over or around? Because over, and that's exactly what he did. He didn't have a lot of room to get the ball up and over. It was going to have to dip in a hurry. Kicks it into the wall, and we've got the first corner of the evening.
And the free kick was delayed there. As Mr. Dagko didn't like things that were going on in the wall. I think that unsettled Kaffa a little bit. He'll be disappointed with that free kick. A little bit central in the pitch, so he had to go directly over the wall. Reno were able to defend it nicely.
They go short for Hoven. That's stolen away. Sent up the pitch and right back to Cooper. Cooper trying to send it into the box, headed out. Loose ball. And Fresno wanted a handball. They're not going to get it. The throw will go to Reno. A lot of activity on that one. Is that corner kick. Not the best effort that they could have had. They go short but lost the handle very, very quickly. That's not how you draw it up.
You have to make a better decision on those corners. If the opposition sends out a second defender, which you would expect, then call off the short corner.
Reno will be satisfied to play catch right here. But Fresno's also giving them a lot of space in order to maneuver their passes.
Well, Fresno like to do ordinarily is that they will split the two central attacking players wide to force the entry pass up the middle of the pitch, and then it's up to Argueta or Ribeiro to make the possession of that entry pass as difficult as possible. Reno are doing a pretty good job of breaking the press. On that occasion, the Foxes weren't able to set it up exactly as they planned.
But if you're Ian Russell and you're looking at the first 37 minutes, are you particularly happy? I mean, you're up 1-0, so you know you can't argue with that. But are you particularly happy with the way that your team has played?
I think there's going to be some dissatisfaction with the fact that Reno are giving up a lot of chances, particularly down the flanks, making some silly challenges. As dangerous play is called, I believe. The arm is up for an indirect free kick from the official. So it's just playing a little bit smarter. Some frustration though for Ian Russell that Hoppino, Brown, Van Ivek haven't really seen a lot of the ball. Haven't even talked about Wien. He's not been, haven't called his name at all. For a Bend and Seymour, they have to take control a little bit more of the central area of the pitch. Ribeiro and Argueta are getting quite a lot of the possession for Fresno going forwards.
The captain into the box, and everybody will stay where they are.
Might have been LaCroix or Morel that headed that ball out. Not a lot of industry on the runs from Fresno. Like the service from the captain though.
Barrera will swing away from the goal, high in the air. Fresno stays on the ball, but have to retreat in order to do it. And right now, in the 39th minute, play looks a lot like it did in the first couple of minutes.
Fresno putting a lot of players around the ball, trying to make life difficult, allowing Reno really any time to settle possession. You know, pretty satisfied just to drop off and keep their shape defensively. And get 2 banks of 4 in front of the home team.
Well, Reno really has had answers defensively.
Morrell, Carroll, Richards, and McCoy have done well. Particularly Morrell and Carroll, the 2 central players. They've not allowed Cheney really any possession off of the long clearances. They only count maybe on one hand, one clean header that Cheney has had.
So Reno starts us up here in the 40th minute, nursing a 1-0 lead. Brian Brown with his 13th of the season, coming from the assist from Duke LaCroix.
Good defense there from Fresno. Cheney didn't take a good angle of the approach to stop that ball coming out to the wide players. Well, this is better. Pereira and Caffer forcing the issue back towards the goalkeeper.
Marcinkowski kicking that one away. Whistle stops play once again.
Fans want a behind-the-scenes look at Fresno.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Brown playing catch with Rainish. And Rainish booting it well down the pitch, but Reno's there for it. That slide tackle works perfectly.
Good job from Aben. Again, Cheney not getting the possession from those long clearances.
Sent forward, but off the mark, looking for Caffel.
I think Seymour and Aben are doing a good job of not allowing either Cheney to check back the ball or allowing Caffer to occupy the space between the defensive back line.
That header is going to go off the mark. But one of the things that I'm noticing is as Fresno is bringing the ball down the pitch, some of those passes should be leading their teammates. They're going behind their teammates, which changes the direction of the play. That buildup went behind, had to go backwards to be able to go forwards. Gives the defense an opportunity to settle things, get in their position, get in their shape, and shut down the opportunity.
And it's so important that at this level that you do make sure that the pass is to the correct foot. So yeah, good pressure there from Carroll, right on the back of Cheney. The midfielder's not in position to receive a pass from the number 21 as it gets into his feet. Verhoeven, Argueta, they have to get beneath him so he doesn't have to hold the ball up for a prolonged period.
Reno currently in 6th place, 2 above the Mendoza line, sitting at 41 points, looking to go to 44. They'll jump from 6 to 5 if they can hang on to this lead. For Fresno, they want to stay in the playoff picture. Currently, they are number 12 on the table with 34 points. Win tonight would jump them all the way up to 10th. 37 points tied with San Antonio, and San Antonio has the tiebreaker on that.
First tiebreaker is games won. And San Antonio have 10 games won on the season as we sit. Fresno would only have 9 if they're able to emerge victorious tonight. Too many tied games for the Foxes, unfortunately.
Reno with 6 draws on the road, go along with 6 wins and only 1 loss. If you are road warriors like that, you're going to be in the thick of it trying to win a championship. You know, the more I think about that, Matt, 13 games on the road and you've only lost one. I mean, there are teams that would love to have that type of record at home, and they have done it sleeping in hotels and bus rides and plane rides. And, you know, sometimes teams are better on the road because they get away from the distractions that take place at home.
That or they're staying at some nice hotels.
Hey, maybe.
But, I mean, with a team on the road, yes, they can play more relaxed. The opposition are up against it because they're trying to defend their home turf. But you know, credit to Reno for being so successful. It's a great job that Ian Russell's team has been doing.
We are not going to have any added time for your viewing pleasure, so we'll be taking a look at highlights and stats, talk around the play in the league. Upcoming schedules is there are not going to be that many games left in the 2018 regular season here in USL as we're getting towards the end of the regular season. Brian Brown is your goal scorer. That happened back in the 12th minute. Only scoring of the game so far. Reno has 2 shots on goal, and he volleyed the first one home. So as we go to the break, you see that goal, left foot back of the net for Brian Brown. 1-0, 1868. We'll be back on ESPN Plus. Welcome back to Chuck Chansey Park. I'm Bruce Silverman along with Matt Stubbington. And Matt, frantic play in the first 45 minutes, only 1 goal scored.
It was a little frantic from both teams, and you can see from the standings a lot of the reason why Reno in 6th, just a little bit above St. Louis FC. Fresno in 12th, trying to find a way to get into 10th place, and there's so much on the line. They want to find a way to get in there, and Fresno don't have any games in hand.
No, and Reno only 25 games, but you see the 11 wins, and you think about what we were talking about right before the break. 6 of those wins on the road, actually have won more on the road than they have at home, and 6 of those 8 draws have been on the road. Take a look at what's coming up for both of these teams. Fresno, and you look at their road, and it's tough playing against number 7, number 3, number 5, finishing up with number 15. And for Reno, the schedule really favors them, as everyone that they play in these remaining 4 matches are sitting behind them.
They are sitting behind them, but they are going to be playing for pride, those lower teams. That is a huge game against St. Louis, because they are only 2 places below. And if you can win that game, you get a little bit of separation from that 8th place. For Fresno, that game against Swope Park is going to be absolutely massive, because they are the closest team above Fresno that they can have an impact on. And it's, as Adam Smith said in our call in the middle of the week, every game is a cup game right now. They have to win in order to stand any chance of getting into the top 8.
You want to take a look at what happened around the league last week?
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it right now.
Will send the cross in, and what a goal by USL's leading goal scorer, Thomas Enevelson.
Lancaster, and it's 1-0 to Louisville City.
Rio.
Have not drawn a match as Langsdorff has found the back of the net and leveled the tally in the 79th minute, his 14th goal of the season.
Vega. Tevin Vega shooting. Goal! Mendiola! Big launch with the right!
Oh, Steinberger, second opportunity! Welcome to North Carolina FC! Zach Steinberger has tied it at 1! He has Davo! Big try! Bingo! Mohamed Davo!
Cross goal! And the goal by Bustamante, and Fresno may indeed sneak out of here with a point.
Hoffman outside the 18, shot, goal, goal, goal! Looking forward to Hoffman, goal! The brace!
Justin Davis, that's a great goal!
King steps up, creating the turnover, and the finish!
Nanko, save made by Pickens, follow save, and a devastating goal by the Bethlehem Steel.
It's in. New York have tied it up. It's 4-4.
Oh, Rita saves it!
An impressive save! Saved off the line, Lubin!
But it's swatted away by Cohen.
Derek producing a fantastic diving save, and it's Tyler Derrick again, who's had an incredible performance.
Saved by Restrepo! Not once, but twice!
Shot pushed away by Lopez.
Oh, and what a save by Marcin Kowski.
He gives it a strike off Cardoni.
Arturo with the big shot and a great save by Newton.
And a save by Matt Pickens.
Great save as Eric Dick got a hand on it.
Fantastic save there from Laurel.
With Alexis Gobert.
Thank you, Raul. Fans join
Welcome back to Fresno, the home team. A goal behind. That one came in the 12th minute. Brian Brown. And you see the fans are having a good time here. Mid-90s. Just a little on the hot side, but it is California. Let's take a look at scores from around the league. And you see Portland and St. Louis at the half is scoreless. LA trailing in the first half at home. And you take a look at what's going to happen around the league over the weekend. Seattle at home, Swope at home, and Real hosting as well. And Matt, things are getting really, really interesting as we get towards the end of the season here in USL.
I can't believe we are at the end of the season already. It feels like just yesterday that we were back in March with the kickoff of this 2018 season. But I think Fresno will be hoping that Timbers 2 will have a win tonight and that Real Monarchs will have a win tomorrow. Look at the news and notes, and the attendance for the USL just keeps on growing year on year. And it's fantastic fans that come out. They're so knowledgeable, supporting these great teams. And over 2 million fans have attended games this year. That's an average of over 5,000 per game, which is pretty impressive.
And they do it 6 weeks earlier than they did it last year. And how about John Harkes? Harksey is going to be heading up the Greenville Triumph. D3 paperwork has been filed, at least 10 teams for 2019, and got a feeling that it might be a little bit more than that, and that goes along with 7 teams joining the D2 league for 2019 as well. We're going to jump out, take another break. When we come back, we'll have the next 45 minutes of action from Fresno. 1-0, 1868.
SoccerAcademy.com. Please join Chevron Open Goal Project and the Fresno Football Club in supporting the mission of the Chevron Soccer Academy and its commitment to the Fresno community. As part of the Fresno County community for over a century, Chevron is committed to building lasting partnerships that help community thrive as they reach their goals. Fresno FC fans, please give a nice round of applause to Chevron Open Goal Project and Fresno FC as we get in the community with 3 soccer camps and a tournament this fall. Thank you.
A special shout out to the following groups and fans. Top Hand Media. Club Pumas.
Welcome back to Fresno. 1-0 is our score after 45 minutes. I'm Bruce Silverman along with Matt Stubbington. And I think it's time for us to take a look at the highlights. Halftime highlights are brought to you by Just the Tip.
That was an early start for the visitors. A wonderful left-footed volley by Brown into the back of the net. You see the back line of Fresno get stretched. McCroy with a pinpoint accurate cross. And there was Brown just pulling himself away from his namesake Brown. Corey in the Fresno lineup. Brian Brown puts the ball into the back of the net, but Fresno will get their chances. Finding ways to get into the attacking third. Cheney snatches this chance, deflected into his path by his captain, Kaffa.
Yeah, his hips were open on that one and wasn't able to hammer it home. The chances were there for Fresno throughout the first half. They just weren't able to capitalize.
They weren't able to capitalize. Kaffa was in and around the action a lot of the time. Good technique and patience there from Barrera. Right into the breadbasket of the goalkeeper, Marcinkowski. And good footwork off of the long free kick from Kaffa. Thought he was a little too far out to shoot. Shows what I know. He stung the hands of the keeper. And there was Ribeiro. Crazy legs, tiptoeing through the tulips. Wasn't able to get the shot on frame. Barrera was, again, stinging the hands of Marcinkowski, but great positioning from the man between the sticks for the visitors tonight.
Yeah, James really has had an outstanding night so far, positioning himself well. A great opportunity here for Hoppino, just wide left. Only 2 shots on goal for Fresno, but both of them were excellent, excellent looks. And you see, if you shoot it 11 times, and possession, I'm not sure about that one because it definitely looked like the home squad had the ball a lot more often. But when you shoot 11 times and you put 3 of them on target, you should not be down 1-0 in the half.
They shouldn't be, and they've had their opportunities, creating the chances, getting the ball out wide, crosses coming in, and that is Fresno's bread and butter. But I think with the possession, a lot of that possession is where is it on the pitch for Reno. Some of those passes have been along the back line. Carroll, Morrell have been rather willing just to stay deep and pass the ball between the two of them. At Fresno, they've had a little bit more going forwards into their attacking half, but they need to find a way to get the job done and convert on those opportunities they are creating.
On Tuesday, the team visited with several patients at Community Regional Medical Center, the largest hospital in Central California. We stopped by the pediatric ICU and the pediatric burn ward. On Thursday, we had a few players, Pedro Ribeiro, Mickey Daly, Austin Cesares, and Ronnie Augusta, go around with the students at Kepler Neighborhood School in downtown Fresno. It's a charter school that unfortunately saw its playground grass area dry out after a sprinkler system broke about 10 months ago. Over the last 2 games, Fresno FC has donated 20,000 square feet of sod used to cover the infield at Chazinski Park. Then the following mornings, the volunteers from the fire squad, Fresno, and the school laid the sod to revitalize the playground. And the playground tonight is right here in Fresno, as the home squad had an opportunity to talk about their play in the first half, switch sides, and see what they can do to get back in this game. Only down 1-0. And here is their first attack of the second half. Fresno in blue, Reno in white. And if Fresno has the opportunities they had in the first half, it could be a very, very good game for the Foxes.
It will be a good game. Cheney there almost got the end on the end of the cuff across. Morrell got clipped by the forward from Fresno. He's captain for Reno's a little hobbled.
We'll take a look at Fresno is the 12th team in the West with those 8 wins, and you look at Reno sitting in 6th, 11 wins, 6 of those coming on the road. And what's really impressive about that, Matt, is if the playoffs were to start today, they're in 6th place. It means that they're going to play on the road for the playoffs. But if you're Reno, you're not too worried about playing on the road in the playoffs when you've got a record right now as it stands of 6 wins, 6 draws, and only 1 loss.
You're probably licking their chops if that is the case.
You're thinking to yourself, we'll go ahead and play the entire playoffs on the road. We're good with that. And they got a beautiful stadium back at home, Greater Nevada Field. They share it with the Aces. Seymour looking to switch sides. A bend. Here comes Reno on their first attack. Little give and go action. Cleared out of the box. Cheney loses the handle, and Reno will go all the way back. Build from behind. Here's the captain. Morrell with a lot of real estate to work with. A bend. Now for Carroll. And that's sent deep.
Fresno will take that all day long. Good defensive shape there from the home team, forcing the issue.
First time that Christopher Wean could have gotten into the action. He pulled up the brakes and let that ball get to Rainish. So what do you think the conversations were in the locker room? So we'll start with the home squad, with Adam Smith and his Foxes.
I think a lot of it is, again, finish the chances. They are making opportunities for themselves, but they have to marry the intensity of the game with the execution of the game. And I think Adam Smith will be happy, for the most part, with the way his team came out and showed their commitment to the competitive side of the game, but they have to be smarter in the way they're executing in the attacking third. For Reno, they've got to find a way to keep the ball a little bit cleaner, find a way to get Hopino and Brown involved a little bit more. As the halftime whistle went, we followed Brown off the pitch for the cameras. You could see he was a little frustrated in the amount of service that he's received into the game up to that point. Yes, he has the goal and he'll be thrilled about that, but other than that, he really hasn't touched the ball in the first 45 minutes. So I think he and Hopino will be very frustrated, and we're hoping for better service in the second half.
Yeah, I was a little surprised when we saw the stats right before the second half started. 51% in favor of Reno. It didn't look that way at all.
It didn't, but you know, you're looking at passes that are happening right now in their defensive third, or defensive half, I should say. And then getting into the attacking half, Fresno have done a pretty good job of winning the ball back, as they do that with Ellis Hayden against LaCroix.
Yeah, Ellis Hayden using his body, we had talked about in the first half, how you can position the ball in win balls, and there was a great example, almost a textbook example of how to use the body. Here comes Reno on the counter. Nice pass forward. Brown, good positioning by Daly to prevent him from being able to get a left foot.
A little surprised that Brown went with that left-footed effort, trying to turn the ball on frame. He'd have been better served just to turn away from the goal, keep possession and allow Wynn to come forwards from the left midfield position. That was an unnecessary turnover there from Verhoeven as he tried to find Ribeiro. I'd like to see Verhoeven have the confidence in his right leg to go forwards with the ball.
I think Brown on that exchange just frustrated, really the second or maybe even the third touch he's had in the entire game, and just decided he was going to do it all by himself. Play on, says the referee. Rehan gets into the action and loses the handle, but Reno gets it right back. Trying to push forward, a lot of real estate on that pass. And that shot from distance into the dugout. A little surprised by that. You get the turnover, you're in the final third. You have an opportunity to build up your attack, and you take the shot from distance. Hey, it's great if it goes in, but you're so far away, and as it turned out, so far off target.
Disappointing from Ribeiro, especially when he did have numbers in front of him to utilize. Cuffer was open on that left flank for Fresno. And we do know that Ribeiro has the ability to strike from distance. He had a spectacular left-footed effort earlier on in the season, but that one was just way too ambitious. Ribeiro knew it as he was stretching for the ball, leaning back. Give us an opportunity to show the visiting fans from Reno here in the far corner of the picture.
Reno sends it forward and results momentarily in a turnover. Ellis Hayden will go back to his keeper. Now Daly will move forward. Ellis Hayden thought about going downtown, thought better of it. So Fresno will work that back line between Brown and Daly and finally go forward. For Cheney. Cheney inside the box, trying to slide it through, but Marcinkowski, as he has been all night long, right place, right time.
It was a long ball over the top. How Cheney was able to get open so far into the attacking third for Fresno. It was almost as if the whole back line, except for Morel, had committed to the ball. Corral misses the header. Cheney runs onto it. He'll be really disappointed with that left-footed effort.
Well, credit to Morel for cutting off the angle and not giving him a lot of real estate to work with. By the time Cheney got the shot off, Marcinkowski, like I said, perfect position.
Fourth time tonight he's made a save look very easy.
Reno trying to double it up right here. Beautifully defended. But the Foxes having to go backwards before they move forward. That's sent forward for Ellis Hayden. Just couldn't catch up with it. Pass from Barrera.
That's what Kaffa gives you. He's able to check back into the space, gets the ball, keeps it under possession, then finds Barrera. Barrera with a head of steam. Gets into the attacking half. Ellis Hayden with the overlap. At a moment of space, Roy did a really good job getting back defensively, goal side, shepherding the ball over the byline for the goal kick. That was good soccer on both sides of the ball for both teams.
Matt, you think sometimes when the attack is coming right up the gut, the teams have a tendency to try to work into the wing when they could be better served, continuing to keep the ball in the middle?
From the old school, I do like to play the ball out wide. It's a game of adapting to what your opposition give you and not getting so set in your ways that all you do is keep trying the same thing over and over again.
Well, certainly being predictable is not going to serve you well over the course of 90 minutes. If you do it over the course of a season, these teams watch so much film these days, they know the tendencies, especially late in the season. And that one well off the mark.
Notice with Reno, they've moved more to a 4-4-2 lineup. Richards gets forward, and he'll be disappointed with that cross. Van Ivek has joined Brown up top. Hopino has moved out to the right flank. Rian is on this left flank. Trying to flatten things out a little bit, prevent the width that Fresno have enjoyed going forwards.
Ellis Hayden picked it up. Now Cheney. Cheney well defended, and that's the turnover. Now Brown, and you see Brown in the middle of the pitch.
It was just a horrible ball played into Cheney. There was nothing you could do with it. It was hammered at his chest.
So he's got the word select marked across his chest right now.
He quite possibly could. Silly foul from Kaffa.
'57th minute, and he'll come over and check on a Ben. Good sportsmanship by the captain. Might just have saved himself a card the next time he pulls that one. You also got to start thinking, Matt, what tactics are both of these managers going to use down the stretch in terms of using their three substitutions?
I think with Reno, trying to shore things up defensively. I'd be surprised if there are any attacking changes made by Ian Russell.
Wean. Fresno will slow things down. And that's kind of been the tale of the night for the Foxes, is those passes into the middle third, the final third, have been in the air, covering a lot of ground and not exactly right on target.
They haven't, and again, going back to that earlier pass from, I think it was Barrera to, or Argueta, I think it was actually to Cheney. It was hammered into his chest. Those passes have got to be into feet so that the forward can deal with the pass. Silly foul there from Ribeiro. high up on the challenge against the bend.
And a bend on the turf again. He's taking a beating right now in the last couple of minutes of this match. You see Morrell having a conversation and trying to plead his case on exactly what just took place.
So Rivera's been talked into the book almost by the players from Reno.
Hey, credit to Morrell. That's his job as the captain. So in the 59th minute, Pedro Ribeiro has been booked.
It's not really a surprise that the card is coming out because it was a challenge up high. A bend is down holding his head.
You saw Kaffa come in.
I don't think Mr. Dagko is very happy with Ribeiro, the look on his face. A bend has to come out. He was attended to by the athletic training staff. There's a head-to-head challenge there. And perhaps Ribeiro was a little bit unlucky to get the yellow card. There wasn't a leading elbow or anything like that. This is a great chance for Reno. Wien standing over the ball.
In college football, that would have sent you off for the rest of the game and gotten you a half suspension next weekend. They call it targeting in football. Christopher Wien, right foot. You see all of those players to his right, two-man wall. Sent high and too far for anybody in a white kit to do anything with it, as we are now an hour into this match, and Reno with the only goal of the evening taking place in the 12th minute. Brian Brown his 13th. Great assist by Duke LaCroix.
I'd like to see the Fresno players try and find a way to receive the ball a little bit more on the half turn so they could get the ball up the pitch a little bit quicker. See right there, Argueta, he understands where the pressure's coming from. Seymour closing down quickly, but Argueta can then find a way to actually receive the ball, turn 180 degrees. He could then try and find the way to get the ball up to Cheney and to Kaffa.
That's over everybody's head, and they'll chase it down, and you see that battle between Daly and Brown, and Brown not particularly happy. Still pleading this case.
It's been a weird night for Brian Brown. He's got the all-important goal at the moment. He really just hasn't been in around the play a whole lot because Reno haven't found a way to get the ball into the attacking third.
And for Fresno, they have. They just haven't been able to get it past Marcinkowski.
And down at the bench, so Sam Strong's being selected to come in off the bench for Fresno. A little surprise there. He is a central defender. Frank Teo is going to the scorer's table as well. That isn't a surprise. He played well against Las Vegas last week as the target forward. I think Sam Strong coming in, Verhoeven's coming out. So that might allow Fresno to send Alex Cooper up into the left midfield position. Sam Strong will join the back line. Fresno will be a little bit more attacking minded down the left flank. Cheney's coming out as well. Teo coming in. That's not a like for like. Teo doesn't have the speed to stretch the opposition, but he does offer more of a target to feet. I think that Sam Strong coming in is a really attacking minded change for Adam Smith.
Cleared off by Reno, but just momentarily. Pereira lays off, gets it right back.
There is Sam Strong. He's moved into the central defensive area alongside Daly. Corey Brown will slide out to the left back position. That's what Teo offers you. He's a little stronger coming back to the ball than Cheney is.
Cheney, who had a good look in the first half, was just off target.
That ball just died to death on the baseball infield.
Another big time save by Marcinkowski, and this results in a corner.
Well, the ball died to death, and it allowed Alex Cooper to somehow find possession of the ball and then hammered the left-footed shot. Great save from Marcinkowski.
Barrera has been taking him all evening long, serves it up, headed out. Richards put his head on it, but here's Fresno right back in the attacking area, and that one sails over the goal. We'll get another look at James Marcinkowski, the way that he shut down this opportunity. That blast had some pace, but he played it perfectly. And we stay at a 1-0 advantage in favor of 1868.
Hammered shot from Alex Cooper. Dipping, swerving, no spin on the ball, so it was pure knuckle. Tells you how sweetly the ball was struck with that left peg. The ensuing corner kick came in, and Fresno were able to keep things alive in the attacking third, and a deflected header almost created another scoring opportunity for the home team.
Throw in on that far side. Alex Cooper has been very, very active this evening. Another set-piece opportunity coming up. Gives me an opportunity to tell you, watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with the news from around the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer, as you look at Reno, who will be facing this opportunity.
Corey Brown on the foul. Best challenge. Ryan has been taking all of the set pieces, it seems, for Reno. Served a good ball in on the earlier set piece, but nobody there on the run for Reno.
See what he decides to do with this right-footed effort in the 67th minute. Calls his shot. Second time in as many free kicks as he leads his teammates a little too far.
I like the angle on the service. Reno just need to organize the timing of the runs a little bit better.
Fresno, another trip into the final third. And that one counts. Kaffa back of the net, 67th minute. We are tied at 1 apiece. They've had a lot of opportunities to get into the final third. They haven't gotten it past Marcinkowski until now.
A little dabble, do you? And there's the ball from Barrera. Chips it beautifully into the box. Kaffa times his run to perfection. The touch with the left peg was perfect as well. And for the first time tonight, Marcinkowski can do nothing about it. All set up from Tayo, receiving the long ball forwards, holding it up for a moment, dropping the ball back to Barrera. Barrera was able to drop that ball into the path of Kaffa. And the home fans are excited.
As well they should be. Their team has had the opportunities, have really outplayed Reno throughout this game. Outshot them, outpossessed them, outworked them. But up until that point, they weren't able to capitalize. And it was Kaffa doing a great job of just getting that ball and hammering it home. The service was perfect, and he timed it just outstanding.
Well, that'll be a yellow card to Argueta. That was a cynical foul at the halfway line. Troy was getting a really good head of steam going forwards there.
Yellow card.
Been given to Barrera, I think, but it's the wrong player. It was Argueta, I think, on the challenge. unless something was seen a little bit earlier by Mr. Dacko. Herrera missed a really good opportunity there. He stayed central on the initial pass. Should have played it out wide to Cooper.
Well, let's take another look and break it down and see who should have received this card. There it is.
There's the lunging tackle. That's the one for me that should have got the card. Was that push from Argueta. Either way, it is a free kick to the visitors. Immediately, Teo has shown that he has the ability to just hold that ball up. He's a little bit of a wider body than Cheney. And perhaps a little bit more experienced as well, and understanding how to check back to the ball, make himself available.
Ball sent forward. Brown puts his head on it. A bend. Reno taking their time. Lacroix. Brown into the middle. A bend. He's trying to get it on his right foot to take the shot. The shot goes off by Hopino, but Marcinkowski. Johnny on the spot. Fresno once again. Daly high in the air.
Interesting to see Daly so far up the pitch on the right side. Normally you expected to be Ellis Hayden so far up the field. Substitution coming in for the visitors.
Sees Weehan come out. Brenton Griffiths will come in for him.
And Weehan has been quiet tonight, taking the set pieces, and the services have been decent. Certainly we didn't mention his name in the run of play a whole heck of a lot.
Certainly didn't do it in the first half, a little bit more in the second. As Ribeiro is trying to keep the ball in possession.
It'll be interesting where Griffiths fits in to Ian Russell's plans. Fresno have to be a little bit more attentive on their defensive efforts.
Hopino, well covered. And then just lost the handle. Here's Fresno on the counter. Sliding it forward. Now we'll end that opportunity as the flag went up in the 72nd minute. Get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com.
Well, Griffiths is a defender, so slotted into the back line. And Russell trying to shore things up defensively a little bit.
I think that's a matter of being on the road, and a point is a point.
It certainly could be, and a point helps them at this point in the season. Their positioning in the table. A win is an absolute must for Fresno. Teo kept that one in. I believe it was going to go out for a corner kick, so a little surprised by that choice.
Reno was trying to battle it into the final third. Fresno doing a good job of clearing out the garbage and sending it forward on the run. Build up in numbers. Friends to the right.
Deflects off Richards into the hands of Marcinkowski. Cooper trying to find a way to get the ball into Teo, and Kafa unable to do so.
Marcinkowski fires it out for Morrell. The captain will carry it forward.
Looks like Adam Smith has gone more to a 3-5-2, allowing Ellis Hayden and Alex Cooper to get forwards in the midfield a little bit easier.
Reno will carry it forward once again. Vanovac overran it. But here's the buildup once again, but the ball goes out of play. Throw coming up. We've got one too many ball on the pitch. A little over 15 minutes to play. We are tied at 1 apiece. Scoring got started Brian Brown at the 12-minute mark. And then Kaffa at the 67th minute. A little technical difficulty here in Fresno, but we are back. I'm Bruce Silverman along with Matt Stubbington. And the free kick opportunity in the 75th minute for Reno.
I know Argueta's happy that it might not have been on Argueta. It might have been on Kaffa that that yellow card was issued. Kaffa did get the yellow for verbalizing his dissatisfaction at the decision from Mr. Dadcup. Talked himself into the book. It's one that will drive you nuts as a coach.
Long distance service into the box, knocked away. That strike off a body in a blue kit, so we'll stay where we are. Seymour taking his opportunity from downtown.
Rainish was beaten on the deflection. He went to his right, the ball went to the goalkeeper's left. Thankfully for Fresno fans, it goes out for the corner kick. But again, Fresno have to make sure that they pay particular attention on these set pieces.
Outswinger coming up right now. Driven, headed on frame, knocked away. Injured player for Fresno down in the box. It is Ribeiro. Rainish pleading his case with his man down just outside the 6.
There's 2 players committed to the ball, Bruce, and Ribeiro did really well to clear this one out. A kick on the right on the knee.
Substitution for Reno. Leaving the pitch forward, number 99, Brian Brown.
Brown is coming out for 1868.
Chow coming in. Yeah, Brian Brown, it's been a weird old night for him. I'd be really thrilled that he got his 13th goal of the season, but other than that, he's been pretty quiet. It was a wonderful finish. Again, great cross in from LaCroix. You see the appreciation from Brown on that service. And just did a really good job of pulling away from Corey Brown, finding space in the box. And wonderful skill and patience to volley that one home in the 12th minute.
So Mo Chow in for Brian Brown in the 77th minute. Reno trying to show a different wrinkle as they build this one up. Service in it was intended for Chow. I have a feeling, Matt, that this is going to be a frantic 12 minutes or so with both teams looking for the full 3 points.
Pretty much continuing the game as it has been for a lot of
it really has. I mean, this has been a frantic match.
There's been some good soccer played. At times it's been untidy. At times the passes have not been clean from either team. It's somewhat what you'd expect at this point of the season. Committed teams trying to find ways to win all of the points. Alice Hayden, an unnecessary challenge there.
Marcinkowski comes over to help out his teammate. And now the referee will want to have a conversation.
I'd be a little surprised if this doesn't progress to a little bit more, but
no, it was don't do that again, Mr. Ellis Hayden, and I won't put you in the book.
I do like the look from the referee, though. The look of disdain and disgust as he walked away from Ellis Hayden.
Reno sending it to the near side. Lacroix, who's had an outstanding game tonight, has the assist, moving it forward, takes his shot, but it's deflected. And there's a Fox down who took it hard.
I'm sure if it was Mickey Daly or Corey Brown. Sam Strong's still upright. So it must be Corey Brown that's down because I see Daly in the picture as well.
Process of elimination. He just took a really, really hard shot. That shot was maybe 5-7 yards away from him, and he took it square.
It's hit right on the temporal bone above the ear as he turned away to that shot came in from LaCroix.
Get an opportunity to take a look at this one, and LaCroix just squared up on it. And yeah, that's gonna ring your bell. As they'll do the protocol, and this is tough because that's gotta hurt. You're turning your body to it. You don't know exactly where it's going to hit you, but you know it's coming your way. And Brown, because he was attended to, will walk to the sideline, and Fresno will play a man down for a period of time.
The good thing, though, in this situation is that there are defenders on the pitch with Alex Cooper and Ellis Hayden to shore up that back line. There is a smile on the face of Mr. Brown. He still remembers what day of the week it is, apparently.
Well, he had a 1 out of 7 chance.
I'd still get it wrong on occasion.
I think I would get it wrong now. As it's still Saturday, certainly still Saturday on the West Coast, here on the West, and still Saturday even in the East. The Duke into the box. Ellis Hayden will give Reno a corner. Got to tell you, the Duke has had a whale of a game. We're going to have a substitution in a moment. But first, the corner. Fresno sends it down the pitch. It will be Meyer Bevan coming in for Kaffa. We'll get to that at the next stoppage of play. Oh, and that was a little dangerous. Ball pinballing around, and Rainish having to work a little bit harder than he wanted to.
Corey Brown is back on the pitch, which is the good news for Fresno.
Now Fresno on the attack. Cleared out of the box. Barrera. Ribeiro. Wow, you see, look at where Cooper is. But Reno is able to reverse field. Opino looking for help. Finds it. Daly punched it out, and that gives us an opportunity to bring in Bevan for Kaffa in the 83rd minute.
Young Kiwi player, exciting. Great ability, scored 3 goals last season.
As he checks out here in the 84th minute, gives us an opportunity to take a look at his 9th on the USL season.
It's a wonderful skill. Look at the pass from Barrera. Backspin on the ball to just let it check up into the path of his captain. And Kafa, the patience, just allow the ball to bounce past his hip and then put it into the back of the net.
Substitution for Fresno FC.
Foul
Coming out number 10, captain Juan Pablo Cafa.
on Reno will start us back up.
Meyer Bevan.
Barrera will do the honors as long as the ball is set in the proper place. We got another substitution there. So everybody on the pitch is who we're going to have to finish this one up. High in the air. Marcinkowski snatches it out of the air.
Not a good service in from Barrera, too close to the goalkeeper. Way too easy for Marcinkowski. Great distribution from the goalkeeper though.
All the way into the box. Chow trying to service, unable to do so.
You see the ability of Teo to hold the ball up. Strong in the challenge. He's something we'll see a little bit more of from him for Fresno. His ability to check back and receive those balls to feet. Cheney can do it. He just doesn't quite have the nous yet. The Teo does.
Bevan unable to keep it in play. Time ticking away on both these teams. Sent forward quickly, and not exactly sure why Hopino bailed on that one. The flag was going to stay down.
I read that the ball was going to skip off the surface a little bit into the arms of Rainish. Hopino has moved up to the attacking forward position. Van Avik coming out.
Here comes Fresno. It looked like Teo just stayed on the ball way too long. He had options, but he just kept the ball in front of him. By the time he decided which way he wanted to go, defense was well set up to shut him down.
We've seen that a lot from Fresno tonight, just that indecision at important moments. Teo's not one of those players that will beat you off of the dribble. He's much better with his back to goal and turning and shooting, or combining with midfielders to get himself beyond the back line of the opposition.
Another opportunity for Fresno. Barrera, can he catch up with it? Not exactly. Hard tackle will stop play. And we've seen a lot of sloppy tackling this evening.
You just have to make better decisions for the home team. Don't want to slow the game down at this point. Don't want to give Reno the opportunities to set things up on set plays, even ones as deep in their own half as this one is. Smith pensive, anxious on the sideline, looking on. He's made all of his tactical changes that he can make. I like the choices that he's made.
Ellis Hayden sending it down the line for Bevan. Bevan, can he find the space to center? He does. Marcinkowski was there. Hopino. Looks like Hopino will take the throw, moves it quickly down the line. Daly was unable to handle it.
Fans want a behind-the-scenes look at
LaCroix
Stay connected with these Soros on social media at FFC Foxes on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's FFC Foxes on all social media platforms.
A bend from distance, and that's well off the mark. 89th minute, 1-1. Stay up to date with all of the best from social media around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on USL's social media channels. Another stoppage of play. Ball will stay with Reno. This has been a physical game throughout the evening, but also very well refereed by Daco. A bend. Ball movement was there momentarily for Reno and then turned around. We are now in a bend. And that ball gets over Sam Strong. You're going to have 3 minutes of added time for your viewing pleasure when the clock strikes 90. Barrera, and that's knocked away. See the official.
Fourth official signals 3 minutes of stoppage time.
3 minutes is now on the board.
Well, both these teams last week scored late against Las Vegas Lights in stoppage time. Fresno to tie the game, Reno to win it.
Chow catches up with it, gets his pocket pick, but comes right back. A bend. Chow trying to bend it towards the far post, and wow, Rainish comes up huge. Chow looking to be the magician going to that far post, and that would have gone in if it wasn't for Kyle Rainish. Corner coming up here in the first minute of stoppage. High in the air, headed. Knocked away off that back line. Reno wants it. Fresno won't let him have it. Still on the attack, servicing, knocked away. But Reno still on it. Into the box. Rainish snatches it out of the air. He'll punt it down the pitch. This is the finish. That would be well suited for this game.
Just wonderful soccer that Chow with the effort, patient on the build-up. That is a brilliant save from Rainish to his left, and then the flying header. I think it might have been LaCroix. I'm not entirely sure who it was for Reno, but it was a wonderful stop on the goal line for Fresno.
And Ronnie Argueta clearing it out off that back line. 2 minutes in. Cleared out. Fresno has the throw. Argueta. And we'll stay where we are. Barrera. Corner coming up. 30 seconds left. He moves quickly. Cooper into the box. Another corner coming up.
Great goalkeeping at both ends of the pitch. Rainish at one end, Marcinkowski on the other. This was a looping header from Strong that challenged Marcinkowski to tip it over the crossbar.
Cooper with the service and just fingertips it over. In swinger from Danny Barrera coming up as we are on borrowed time. High in the air. Fresno will throw it in. Referee hasn't gone to the whistle yet. It's going to give Fresno another opportunity towards the box. And that's going to do it. And I got to tell you, Matt, after 90, almost 94 minutes, this is the exact finish that we should have had, 1-1 between these two teams.
Oh, it's a fair result. It was a scrappy game, a competitive game. A result that Ian Russell and Reno 1868 will be satisfied with, but it'll be a disappointed Fresno Foxes team. They need the win, they need the 3 points. Yet again, they come away with a draw. They show resilience, they show ways to get back into matches. But is it too little too late? 1 point at this point of the season is not going to help Fresno get into the top 8.
And for Reno, they'll wear the Road Warrior badge. Well, as you see, our man of the match tonight is presented by El Mexicano, and it is the captain, Juan Pablo Caffa. He had a goal at the 67th minute to tie us at one apiece. Got a yellow card, was substituted out in the 84th minute. So he had a little bit of everything this evening. But overall, a really good game for both of these teams. And it ends with each of them having 1 point. We'll be back.
Esta velada, gracias también a nuestros presentadores Fox 26. Regrese a casa con cuidado y gracias por siempre apoyar a su equipo. Somos zorros.
Welcome back to California. 1-1 is your final after 94 minutes of action. Bruce Silverman, Matt Stummington. Time for us to take a look at tonight's Zoom image of the match. And that one belongs to Mr. Argueta.
Great image there. Commitment of Argueta stretching as far as he can to win the ball away from Seymour in the midfield. And he and Ribeiro did a pretty good job for Fresno of marshalling the center area of the pitch. As we took at the look at the highlights, and it was the 12th minute that Brian Brown put the ball into the back of the net. Disarray in the back for Fresno. McCroy looks up, puts the ball on the spot, and there was Brown pulled away from Corey Brown, and the Brown of the Brian variety volleys it in beautifully, hitting the left-hand upright in its way in. Ribeiro tried to take the game on his own shoulders, tiptoeing through the back line of Reno. He wasn't able to get the shot off, but Barrera was. He stung the hands of the goalkeeper, Marcinkowski, a couple of times in the match. Marcinkowski played pretty well in net for the visitors tonight.
Marcinkowski called into duty time and time again because Fresno really moved the ball in his direction.
There's another example of fine goalkeeping. This to his near post. Stinging shot from Alex Cooper. Knuckling effort, not a lot of spin on the ball. And Marcinkowski aware of the danger. to his near post. There's nothing he could do about this one. Teo had come in, held up play well, delivered the pass back to Barrera. He looks up, drops the ball into the path of Kaffa. The one-time left-footed effort from the captain puts the ball past Marcinkowski. And that was the tying effort in the 67th minute for Fresno. Look at the standings. Fresno have gone from 12th to 11th with the point. They're tied with OKC Energy. The tiebreaker is games won. So with the Energy have 10 games won to Fresno's 8. Look at that draw column though for Fresno. 11 on the season, and that really might come back to bite the Foxes in the end.
And when you look at Reno, they have 11 wins, 6 losses, and 9 draws. 7 of those draws on the road. They have played 14 road games and have only dropped 1. And for a team that is probably not going to host a playoff match, that's a pretty good record to have when you are going to be on the road in the playoffs. Final thoughts?
Oh, final thoughts, as you say, Reno proved once again that they're very comfortable on the road. They're a tough team to break down, get players behind the ball very nicely. Need to find a way to get some better service into their forwards. Brown was frustrated for much of the game, as was Hopano. But Fresno, they created the chances for themselves. They have to convert if they're going to find a way to get the 3 points that they need.
Next up for the Foxes on the road, it's Swope. Sunday, September 9th. Be with us for that one. For Reno at St. Louis on the 8th. For Matt Stubbington, I'm Bruce Silverman. Thanks for being with us. 1-1 is the final.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.